नीतियां ये इस बात से सहमत नहीं है। मैं आपसे कहना चाहता हूं, जब आप सबके विश्वास की बात कर रहे हैं, उसके बाद आप कहते हैं सबका विकास होगा। मैं माननीय उपसभापति महोदय कुछ आंकड़े आपके सामने प्रस्तुत करूंगा कि न सबका साथ है न सबका विकास है। मैं आपसे अनुरोध करना चाहता हूं कि आखिर मोदी जी को सबका साथ मिला है क्या? क्या सबका विकास उन्होंने किया है क्या? आज इस देश में सबसे बड़ी समस्या है माननीय उपसभापति महोदय, सामाजिक सौहार्द और समरसता बिगड़ रही है और साथ में आर्थिक असमानता बढ़ रही है। ये दोनों जो हैं सबका साथ और सबका विकास के खिलाफ इंगित करती हैं। मैं आपसे अनुरोध करना चाहता हूं कि संविधान में सबको समान अधिकार मिले हुए हैं। क्या अल्पसंख्यक समुदाय को आप न्याय दिलवा पा रहे हैं? बिना किसी भेदभाव के सभी का जीवन जीने का अधिकार दिया हुआ है क्या? लेकिन क्या अल्पसंख्यक समुदाय को समान अवसर व न्याय मिल रहा है क्या? धर्म को देखकर लोगों के घरों को बुलडोजर से गिराया जा रहा है। भाई दोषी को दंड मिले, लेकिन उसके परिवार के लोगों ने क्या आरोप क्या दंड देने लायक क्या काम किया है? उमर खालिद और शर्जील इमाम 4 वर्षों से जेल में बंद है, आज तक चार्जशीट पेश नहीं की गई। ऐसे कई उदाहरण हैं। हेट स्पीच के बारे में कहा था, हेट एंड हॉस्टिलिटी। हेट स्पीच आप इसके खिलाफ है, लेकिन असम के चीफ मिनिस्टर साहब ने अभी जो बयान दिया है उसके क्या आप समर्थक हैं? क्या उनके खिलाफ हेट स्पीच देने पर आप मुकदमा दायर करेंगे, उनसे इस्तीफा मांगेंगे? मैं आपसे निवेदन करना चाहता हूं, एक तरफ तो यह है, साथ में सोनम वांगचुक जैसा एक व्यक्ति जिसने लद्दाख के अंदर एक अपना विशिष्ट स्थान स्थापित किया है, उसको भी क्या कारण है उसको आज जेल में बंद किया हुआ है? उनकी क्या मांग थी? उनकी केवल एक मांग थी कि वे मोदी जी ने जो चुनाव में 6वीं अनुसूची लागू करने का वादा किया था वो निभाएं। पदयात्रा की, प्रदर्शन और भूख हड़ताल पर बैठे, बिना किसी कारण के 100 दिन से वो गिरफ्तार है। क्या सबके साथ उन्होंने, आपके प्रधानमंत्री जी ने क्या इस प्रकरण में क्या न्याय किया है? अब आप सबका विकास के बारे में मैं इतना कहना चाहता हूं कि एक तरफ आर्थिक असमानता तो बढ़ी रही है और उसके अंदर आप देखेंगे कि आज की असमानता ब्रिटिश शासन के समय से भी बदतर हो चुकी है। वर्ल्ड इक्वलिटी लैब के अनुसार भारत में 10 व्यक्ति लगभग 58% राष्ट्रीय आय प्राप्त करते हैं, जबकि निचले 50% व्यक्तियों को केवल 15% मिल पाता है। शेष 10% के पास शीर्ष मतलब जो सबसे ऊंचे दर्जे के 10% के पास 65% संपत्ति है, जबकि निचले 50% के पास केवल 6.4% संपत्ति है। आर्थिक मामलों में जो शासन के आंकड़े दिए गए वो स्वयं अंतर्राष्ट्रीय मुद्रा कोष ने उनकी विश्वसनीयता पर गंभीर प्रश्न चिन्ह लगाए हैं। मैं आपसे कहना चाहता हूं कि आज पिछले कुछ वर्षों से आयकर जो हमारे कॉर्पोरेट टैक्स देते हैं उससे ज़्यादा आम आदमी टैक्स भर रहा है। कारण यह है कि पूरे तरीके से आज ये सरकार गरीब विरोधी है और मजदूर विरोधी है, किसान विरोधी है। ऐसे कई आंकड़े मेरे पास हैं जिसके पास जितना मेरे पास समय नहीं है इसलिए सब नहीं बता पाऊंगा, लेकिन इतना मैं जरूर कहूंगा कि आज अनुसूचित जाति और जनजाति के लोग परेशान हैं। अगर आप देखेंगे जहां आप 80 करोड़ लोगों को आप अनाज फ्री अनाज दे रहे हैं, उसमें से अधिकांश अनुसूचित जाति और जनजाति के लोग हैं, जनजाति के लोग हैं। और उसके अंदर भी आप देखेंगे तो आज उनका जो 30 लाख शासकीय नौकरियां खाली हैं, उसमें से बैकलॉग उनका बनता कम से कम 23%। क्या उनका बैकलॉग भरा गया? उनके साथ जो अन्याय हो रहा है, इस मामले में मैं आपसे अनुरोध करना चाहता हूं, इसमें पूरी तरीके से शासन को पुनर्विचार करके उनके पद भरना चाहिए। साथ मैं आपसे अनुरोध करना चाहता हूं माननीय सभापति महोदय कि जहां संवैधानिक अधिकारों को कम किया जा रहा है, कर्तव्यों को अधिक महत्व देने का प्रयास किया जा रहा है। कर्तव्यों के प्रति हम सजग हैं, लेकिन इतना मैं आपसे अनुरोध करना चाहता हूं, जो राइट बेस्ड हमारा कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन है, उसमें राइट्स जो हमारे हैं, फंडामेंटल राइट्स हैं, उनको किसी तरह से हल्का नहीं किया जाना चाहिए। जहां तक हमारा स्टेट और इकोनॉमी है, इनकी कथनी और करनी में कितना अंतर है। काला धन वापस लाएंगे, 15 लाख रुपए देंगे, डिमोनेटाइजेशन में काला धन वापस नियंत्रण में हो जाएगा, नकली नोटों पर प्रचलन बंद होगा, आतंकवाद समाप्त होगा, कैशलेस ट्रांजैक्शन होगा। जबकि उल्टा हुआ है, पूरे तरीके से कैश ट्रांजैक्शन अधिक बढ़ा है। पूरी तरीके से आज अगर हम देखेंगे, आज जो सरकार अर्थव्यवस्था बढ़ने का दावा करती है, तो रोजगार कहाँ है? मैन्युफैक्चरिंग सेक्टर में मजदूरों की संख्या 2011-12 में 12.6% थी, जो अब घटकर 11.4% हो गई है। सर्विस सेक्टर में भी रोजगार 31% से घटकर 29% हो गया। अधिकांश रोजगार जो है आउटसोर्सिंग से दिया जा रहा है, जिसमें नौकरी की गारंटी नहीं है, आरक्षण भी नहीं है। प्रधानमंत्री इंटर्नशिप PMIS में मैं अनुरोध करना चाहता हूं कि किस प्रकार से ये 2066 लोगों को इंटर्नशिप दी गई थी, जिसमें से 95 लोगों को केवल जॉब ऑफर हुआ है। प्रधानमंत्री कौशल योजना के अंदर कितना बड़ा स्कैम हुआ मैं बताना चाहता हूं कि 99% लोगों का एक सेम उनके पास उनका फ़ोन नंबर था। और इसी प्रकार से अगर आप देखेंगे कि पूरे तरीके से इसमें भारी CAG ने इसमें भ्रष्टाचार पाया है। मैं आपसे अनुरोध करना चाहता हूं कि आज इस देश में जो हालात हैं, उन हालात में हमें इस पर विचार करना चाहिए कि राष्ट्रीय सुरक्षा के मामले में हम लोग कहां पहुंच गए। आज लोकसभा के अंदर भी इस बारे में चर्चा हुई है, किस प्रकार से चाइना ने हमारे लगभग 2000 स्क्वायर किलोमीटर पर इंडियन टेरिटरी पर कब्जा किया हुआ है। और हम लोग नहीं कह रहे हैं, ये SP लद्दाख ने इस बात को रिकॉर्ड पे नोटिंग में कहा है कि 26 पेट्रोलिंग पॉइंट्स 65 में से आज ईस्टर्न लद्दाख पर चाइना ने कब्जा कर लिया है। अगर इस बात का उल्लेख माननीय राहुल गांधी जी ने, लीडर ऑफ ऑपोजिशन ने वहां किया है, तो इसका उत्तर माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी को इसमें देना आवश्यक है। जनरल मेजर मनोज मुकुंद नरवाने ने जो कुछ भी इस बात को कहा है, उसके बारे में उनको उत्तर यहाँ पे देना चाहिए। मैं ये भी आपसे अनुरोध करना चाहता हूँ, माननीय सभापति महोदय,
माननीय दिग्विजय सिंह जी, प्लीज विल सीट। ठीक, प्लीज
सर, मैं आपसे इतना अनुरोध करना चाहता हूं कि पूरे आज देश में हमारे इस देश के लोकतंत्र पर आज खतरा है। और उसका कारण यह है कि जो सौहार्दपूर्ण वातावरण इस देश में आज़ादी के बाद, पार्टीशन के बाद कायम किया गया था, वो धीरे धीरे समाप्त किया जा रहा है। कट्टरपंथी ताकतें धार्मिक उन्माद फैलाकर एक तरफ हिंदुओं को, दूसरी तरफ मुसलमानों को भड़का रही हैं। और ये अपने आप में जो एक सामाजिक सौहार्दपूर्ण वातावरण इस देश में बना हुआ था, उसमें काफ़ी हम लोगों को आज संकट नज़र आ रहा है। मैं इस बात को ये भी कहना चाहता हूँ, एक तरफ सामाजिक सौहार्दपूर्ण वातावरण में भेदभाव और आर्थिक असमानता, ये दो विषय ऐसे हैं जिन पर कि विशेष तौर पर केंद्र सरकार को ध्यान देना चाहिए, क्योंकि ये अगर एक हद से ज़्यादा निकल गया तो हमारे लिए एक लोकतंत्र भी खतरे में पड़ सकता है। मैं आज इस अवसर पर यह भी आपसे कहना चाहता हूं कि जहां एक तरफ कॉरपोरेट्स के साथ एक टैक्स एग्जेम्पशंस हो रहे हैं, उसी तरह से गरीबों के साथ, मजदूरों के साथ आज हालत यह है कि आज उनके ग्रामीण क्षेत्र में कृषि मजदूरों की मजदूरी पिछले 10 साल में बढ़ नहीं पाई है। नरेगा के अंदर एक रास्ता था जिसके माध्यम से उन्हें मजदूरी मिल जाती थी, उसे भी जो कानून में परिवर्तन कर दिया गया, उसको अलग कर दिया गया। आज हालात ये हैं कि आप देखेंगे कि पूरे तरीके से आज देश में एक अव्यवस्था की स्थिति चली हुई है। कृषि के सेक्टर में भी अब आप देखेंगे कि वादा किया था दुगनी आय हो जाएगी, नहीं हुई। किसानों का उपज का भाव नहीं बढ़ा। जैविक खेती पर महत्व देने की कोई का उल्लेख नहीं किया। जैविक खेती के अंदर एपिडा में भारी भ्रष्टाचार है, उसके बारे में स्वयं माननीय मंत्री ने इसको स्वीकार किया है, उसके बाद भी अभी तक कोई कार्रवाई नहीं हुई है। किसानों के साथ वादा किया गया था एमएसपी की गारंटी का, वो प्रावधान भी अभी तक नहीं किया गया। कौन सा वादा है माननीय नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने जितने वादे किए थे, कौन सा वादा उन्होंने पूरा किया है, उसका उल्लेख माननीय सदन के नेताजी को और प्रधानमंत्री जी को करना चाहिए। इसी तरह से अगर आप देखेंगे तो शिक्षा का अंदर भी लगभग 1 लाख शासकीय स्कूल बंद किए जा चुके हैं और उसी के साथ साथ लगभग 1 लाख से अधिक जो स्कूल बंद किए गए हैं, वहाँ देखेंगे आप कि अधिकांश शिक्षकों के पद खाली हैं, ना उनकी ट्रेनिंग दे पा रही है, ना उसको हम आगे ले जा पा रहे हैं। मैं अंत में इस बात को कहना चाहता हूं कि आज इस देश में जो पूरे तरीके से आज संकट हमारे सामने है, एक संवैधानिक संकट में इसे नजर से देखता हूं, क्योंकि एक तरफ सामाजिक सौहार्दपूर्ण वातावरण बिगड़ रहा है और उसी प्रकार आर्थिक असमानता भी इस हद तक बढ़ती जा रही है, जिस पर हमें नियंत्रण करना पड़ेगा और इस असमानता को दूर करने के लिए जितना हम लोग कर सकें उतना करना चाहिए। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
धन्यवाद माननीय दिग्विजय जी। श्रीमती सागरिका घोष जी, 16 मिनट्स।
Thank you, sir. On behalf of my party, All India Trinamool Congress, I rise to speak on the motion of thanks on the President's address. I wish to start by quoting from the renowned Bengali poet Sukumar Rai, "Rode ranga iter paja, tar opore boshlo raja, ঠোঙা ভরা বাদাম ভাজা খাচ্ছে কিন্তু গিলছে না, ঘেমে ঘেমে উঠছে ভিজে, ভ্যাবা চাকা একলা নিজে, হিজিবিজি লিখছে কি যে, বুঝছে না কেউ একটুকু." A king dressed in warm clothes at the height of summer is chewing peanuts and writing nonsense on a slate. He is totally distant from reality. He is in fact living in a state of denial, the state of denial. Denial of the present day reality, sir. This is what is the mentality of this government. It is a denial of the present day reality government. That is why this government gets a grade D. If the Honorable President's address on this government's performance had to be given a grade, it would be given a grade D. D grade government, because it is in denial, denial, denial. The Modi government is in denial of the lived reality of citizens. Let me now explain in detail. The President spoke of upholding constitutional values. Fundamental to constitutional values, sir, is the right to vote. In the ongoing revision of electoral rolls, the right to vote is being snatched away. In Bengal, 10 living voters in Kuch Bihar were declared dead. Almost 140 have died because of the severe trauma that citizens are facing because of the ongoing revision of electoral rolls. 1.25 crore citizens in Bengal have been placed in a list named logical discrepancy, simply because either their mother's age is too low, or their spelling mistake of their names is a little different, or they have 5 siblings, they have been placed in a list called logical discrepancy. They are facing disenfranchisement. A software has created this list. Can technological software determine citizenship? Can an algorithm be allowed to decide who can vote and who can't? Nobel laureate Amartya Sen. Sir, Amartya Sen has been summoned for a hearing. So has Mohammad Shami. So has Jhulan Goswami, top cricketers. And there has been not a word of reassurance from the top constitutional office that the right to vote will be protected. Does this government know? Does this government know the pain that citizens are going through because of this exercise? It doesn't know because it is a grade D government, living in denial government. Denial, denial, denial. Only thinking about the long term. As John Maynard Keynes said, sir, in the long term we're all dead. What about the present reality? What about the present reality? Their denial of the present reality. Number 2 example of denial of reality. The respected president said the government is building a system free of corruption and scams. Sir, this is laughable. A series of reports by none other than the Controller and Auditor General, tabled at the end of 2025, has said that the much touted direct benefit transfer, or DBT payments, is seeing fraud to the tune of thousands of crores. There are large-scale fraud and mismanagement in GST collections. The CAG has flagged 22,000 crore worth of irregularities in GST collections. I'm not saying this, sir. This is the Controller and Auditor General, a constitutional body. The CAG has found massive anomalies on the Skill India portal. Digital systems, the so-called game changer of this government, are enabling fraud on a gigantic scale through ghost payments, data scams, transfers to ineligible beneficiaries. The direct benefit transfer scheme, according to the CAG, is shot through with data rackets and swindling on a huge scale. Thousands of crores of rupees are flowing into DBT systems without checks. There are reports of massive scams in BJP-ruled states, massive scams. In Goa, the cash for jobs scam has played out. In Madhya Pradesh, there have been repeated reports of corruption scandals. In BJP-ruled Uttarakhand has seen a series of scams. The Home Guard uniform scam. Tragically, sir, the media and the press has been captured. The media and the press, they have captured. That is why these scams are not investigated and do not make headline news. But they are scams nonetheless. The Enforcement Directorate, the ED, the election department of the ruling party, never raids ruling party politicians. 95% ED cases are against the opposition. The ED has even raided our own party office just before assembly elections. But the ED does not touch the BJP. Of 25 opposition leaders who crossed over to BJP since 2014, 23 have got a clean chit from the so-called ED washing machine. Is this a scam-free government, sir? No, it is not a scam-free government. Those who say it is scam-free are living in denial, denial, denial. D-grade government, denial of reality government. Number 3 example of denial of reality. The Honorable President spoke of India being the fastest growing major economy and keeping inflation under control. But today, India is one of the most shockingly unequal nations in the world. The latest World Inequality Report 2026 shows that top 10% earners capture 58% of the national income, while the bottom 50% get only 15% of the national income. The top 10% Indians hold 65% of the national wealth, while bottom 50% hold only 6% of the national wealth. 83% Indians, sir, 83% Indians are living on less than rupees 171 per day.
Shame.
So when the Honorable President says the government is moving forward on the Reforms Express, what Reforms Express are we talking about? A constitutional address should be a diagnostic exercise, not a celebratory victory poem. A constitutional address should be a moment of institutional introspection. But this government cannot introspect because it is in denial of the present-day reality. That is why it is a D-grade government. Shockingly, this government has repealed Manrega, which was the only major law which was named after Mahatma Gandhi, the father of our nation. The government inherited this scheme from past governments, and in difficult conditions, Narega was hailed and gained global recognition for being a lifeline of the rural poor. The president said the new VBG Ramji law will provide 125 days of work. But this is nothing but an illusion, because sufficient funds are simply not being allocated. This government has consistently lowered budget allocations to Narega. How will it provide 125 days of work? Is the D-grade government, the denial of reality government, aware of rural distress? It is not. Farmers' protests have registered a 5-fold increase since 2017. There were 34 farm protests across 15 states in 2017, rising to 165 protests across 22 states in 2020-2021. Farm suicides account for 6.3% of total suicides in the country. But the president said there is a new momentum to rural development. What new momentum to rural development, sir? All this government knows is denial, denial, denial. Grade D government, denial of reality government. What about the state of the rupee? When the UPA was in power, a former Gujarat chief minister, who we know very well, compared the rupee to the age of the then prime minister. Should we make similar remarks today when the rupee is in free fall? The D-grade government is in denial of the problem, practices distraction, and uses division as political strategy. Just like the king who munches peanuts on a hot day wearing warm clothes is in denial of government, is in denial of reality. That is the kind of denial they are under. So, the president mentioned that the government is creating a powerhouse of green growth. Green growth. Did I hear that right? The president did not by one word mention India's toxic levels of air and water pollution. The Lancet countdown records that air pollution in India causes 17 lakh deaths annually. Delhi's winter pollution is equivalent to smoking 33 to 50 cigarettes per day. Air pollution causes financial losses to the tune of 9.5% of GDP. Last month in Indore, 15 died and over 200 were hospitalized because drinking water is so polluted. Economist Geeta Gopinath has said that pollution in India pollution has a more dangerous impact on the economy than even tariffs. But there was not one word on pollution on the president's address. I looked through the address to find the word pollution. It is not there. It is left out because this government is in denial of present-day realities. So, denial number 5. The Honorable President said the vision of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas is bringing positive change. There is no Sabka Saath, there is no Sabka Vikas in today's India. None other than the Chief Minister of a BJP-ruled state has called for the economic apartheid of a particular community and referred to them as Miyas and said they should be made to suffer. A BJP Chief Minister has said this. Shocking attacks against Christian community took place during Christmas last year. Over 800 cases of violence against Christians took place in 2024. This government needs a reality check on Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. Offences related to religion increased by almost 50% from 2021 to 2023. India Hate Lab records over 1,300 cases of hate speech in 2025, an average of more than 3 hate speeches per day. 3 hate speeches per day. A Kashmiri shawl seller, an 18-year-old Kashmiri shawl seller, was recently attacked in Dehradun, only the latest in the list of such incidents. Will this government accept? No, because this is a denial of reality government. Denial, 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 D for denial, grade D government. Denial of reality number 6. The Honorable President said lakhs of youth are being provided jobs. The anecdotal evidence says otherwise. Why did almost 25 lakh youth, many of them PhDs, MBAs, law graduates, apply for 50,000 class 4 peon jobs in Rajasthan? In 2024, Haryana Kaushal Rozgar Nigam reported that over 39,000 graduates and over 6,000 postgraduates, 39,000 graduates, 6,000 postgraduates applied for the post of sweeper. In UP, nearly 50 lakh applied for 60,000 constable posts. The CAG's 2025 performance audit has underlined the failures of the Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana. Scores of certificates have been handed out, but large numbers of skilled youth remain unemployed. Youth unemployment rate between the age 15 to 29 stands at over 14%, 3 times the national rate. There's another worrying trend, sir. The closing of the Indian mind. The minds of the young are being closed for ideological reasons. School history textbooks are being rewritten for short-term ideological reasons, which is a grave disservice for future generations. Has the government, in denial of reality, even read the annual status of education reports, which show that 8th standard children cannot read class 2 textbooks or do basic mathematics at the class 2 level? 8th standard children cannot do class 2 level schoolwork. UNESCO says as many as 56% Indian children are not proficient in reading. Of the over 15 lakh schools in India, 1.5 lakh functional electricity. Almost 70,000 schools lack functional toilets. Student suicides have risen sharply by 73% from 2014 to 2023. But this government is in constant denial. Denial, denial, denial. D for denial. A D-grade government is in denial. The Honorable President spoke of the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita or BNS law creating a sense of security. But a celebrated activist from Ladakh, who this very government has fated, is imprisoned under NSA. University students have been held without trial for 5 years. 10,000 citizens were arrested under UAPA from 2019 to 2023, with a conviction rate of only 3%, showing that these arrests are designed only to spread fear. 15 journalists have been charged under UAPA since 2014, sir. At least 5 stand-up comedians have faced so many attacks that they can no longer stage shows in our country. Sir, the great writer Umberto Eco said that laughter kills fear, and without fear there is no tyranny. This government wants to exercise tyranny by shutting down the power of laughter, by shutting down the power of comedy. That is why when we can't laugh, we can't question tyranny. They want to exercise tyranny. That is why they are shutting down the subversive and the important power of laughter. That is why this government gets a D grade. It is a D grade government. It is a denial of reality government. So, at the very end, I would like to say that I've listed these denials, but there are many more. But what makes it worse is this regime's ignorance of the great diversity and plural traditions of our country, indeed of our heroes. The president of their ruling party, of the BJP, has said Rabindranath Tagore won the Nobel Prize for Peace. Unko Shanti Nobel mila. The president said, the president of the BJP said, when Tagore won it for literature in 1913. So a few weeks more and we will have the Bengal elections. The BJP is clueless on Bengal, but it wants to win votes in Bengal. I'll end with some lines from Tagore. Ki pai ki jama kori ki debe khedebe din miche kete jay ei bhebe bhebe chole to jetei hobe ki je diye jabo biday newar age ei kotha bhabo. They have to go sometime or the other, sir. They can't stay forever. What will they leave behind? They will leave behind a government that has consistently been in denial about reality. Denial, denial, denial. A grade D government has been in denial about present-day reality. Thank you, sir.
Sriman Tiruchu Shivaji, Sriman Tiruchu Shiva. 38 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Chairman, sir. Sir, I stand here very proud as a citizen of a country which has a vibrant constitution, which has successfully traveled a journey of 76 years, standing the test of time. Despite the protests and agitations in various parts of the country, one vivid example is how it has withstood these 11 years of BJP rule is another example. However much damage has been tried to be done our constitution is unshakable. The specialty is that not only it is the longest one in the world, but it is the longest debated for 3 years, and so many stalwarts in this country participated in the Constituent Assembly and drafted this constitution. And one main feature is that democratic spirit which is prevailing in the political parties and among the people, and as well as the federal structure of this country. Sir, now I would like to personally thank and appreciate the Honorable President, Madam Draupadi Murmuji, for one thing, for upholding the Constitution. Sir, Article 87 of the Constitution provides that at the commencement of the first session after general election, to the House of the People, and at the commencement of the first session of each year, the President shall address both Houses of Parliament assembled together and inform Parliament of the causes of its summons. Sir, what the President delivers as her address is nothing but the policy note of the government's achievement, the government's priorities, and everything will be read out by the President, and she has upheld it. Sir, we are very happy about that, for she has upheld the Constitution's Article 87. And another thing I would like to, she was very much happy and pleased to mention in paragraph 4 of her speech, Baba Saheb Ambedkar always laid emphasis on equality and social justice. Our Constitution also inspires us in the same spirit. Social justice means every citizen gets to exercise full rights and without any discrimination. This might have been written by that. Whether the government is following, that is a different issue. But she is very happy to mention about Baba Saheb Ambedkar and social justice. So there is another article, 176. It says that at the commencement of the first session after each general election to the Legislative Assembly, and at the commencement of the first session of each year, the Governor shall address the Legislative Assembly, or in the case of state having a Legislative Council, both houses are assembled together and inform the legislature of the causes of its summons. So what the Governor has to do is to read out the policy note of the government, the achievement of that government, and the priorities of the government. Whereas, sir, in my state, Tamil Nadu, the Governor deliberately is hesitating to mention the name of Dr. Ambedkar, Tandai Periyar, Arinyar Anna, and social justice. Though it may be given by the government as policy note, he rejects or deletes all those words which doesn't suit to his personal whims and fancies, and reads out something, and most of all, sir, violation.
You know the rules.
When we are talking about the president, why not about the governor, sir?
Governor.
No, I'm telling about what happened in my assembly. Where else could I speak? Not in the street corner, sir. Only in the parliament.
पर कुछ rules हैं governor के बारे में discuss करने के लिए.
Yes, I say that. The constitutional head of the state in Tamil Nadu.
Only that will go on the record.
Sir, I don't use the word governor. The constitutional head of the state in Tamil Nadu. Even before the national anthem was played, he walks out of that. Sir, what is it, sir?
I know.
They have to uphold the constitution. When the president has set a role model that what should be done is being done, it should be done in other states also. Especially, sir, excuse me, nothing to be deleted. I said the constitutional head of the state.
Yes, that means we all know.
I didn't even say governor. I didn't mention any names, sir.
Please.
Sir, we are agonized.
Please.
We are agonized. A government which has done something remarkable and being appreciated by the people, and a government elected by the people is not able to deliver it to the assembly, means, what does it mean, sir? Where else we have to come for protection? Kindly, please, you have to understand the agony and the anguish which we are feeling. This is most unbecoming, sir. And if I have to say, I have to quote about what great leaders have said about democracy and parliamentary democracy and federal structure. Mahatma Gandhi has very clearly said that my notion of democracy is that under it, the weakest shall have the same opportunities as the strongest. True democracy cannot be worked by 20 men sitting at the center. It has to be worked from below. This is Mahatma Gandhi. And Pandit Nehru. I don't want India to be a country in which millions of people say yes to one man. I want a strong opposition. Sir, they may not like Pandit Nehru for many reasons. Repeatedly, they have established that. And what Dr. Ambedkar has said. How long shall we continue to live in this life of contradictions? How long shall we continue to deny equality in our social and economic life? If we continue to deny it for long, we will do so only by putting our political democracy in peril. It is now in peril. He says further, however good a constitution may be, if those who are implementing it are not good, it will prove to be bad. However bad a constitution may be, if those implementing it are good, it will prove to be good. These are not the words of Tiruchi Sivasa. This is the words of Ambedkar. Why we are telling all these things? This government has substituted many words, rather whatever were in practice. Sir, parliamentary democratic norms are flouted. Bills are being bulldozed. Very important bill like 29 labor codes comprising of to become 4 was discussed only for 4 hours, and it was just pushed like anything without much discussion, and even the notification was much later, even resistance is much outside. Institutions, they turn into a tool for them. Whatever they want to do it legally, so they bring a bill, they enact a law, and then implement whatever they want to do. Sir, intolerance in the place of tolerance, adversity in the place of diversity, singularism in the place of pluralism, unitary in the place of federal, and uniformity in the place of unity. So there's a vast difference between unity and uniformity. We want to live unitedly. India is a nature with a plural nature. It's a composite culture. We have different languages, different culture. People of different regions are there. We all live in unity in diversity, whereas this government wants to bring it to one. Everything one means that is not practically possible. That will create very big consequences in the future, sir. Sir, even the Article 1 of the Constitution very clearly says, India, that is Bharat, shall be a union of states. But for the states, there is no union. States are the pillars, and it is only the Gopuram on the top of it. Without the pillars, nothing will happen. And our beloved leader, founder leader Anna, very famously said that union is an onion. Sir, that onion, if you take it, it will be medicinal quality and many other things. We use it for cooking and all. If you start peeling it, every skin, at last there will be nothing. So the skins are the states, and without that there is no union. That's what Anna tried to tell. Sir, another thing, he is the founder of our party, and he set our policies, everything. And his last days, sir, he wrote a letter to the party cadre. Always he used to write, "Dear brother." It's an epistle, a lot of letters which have made them to know about the world, what all going on in this country. In his last letter, sir, he said, "Dear brother, you know very well I am never after power. And presently, after becoming a chief minister, I am not at all happy to be a chief minister of a state in a setup where federalism is only on paper and not in practice. So we want the states to have real powers. Until then, we have to make the people prepare for it, and that is our journey." That was his last letter. After that, he passed away. Later, our late leader, Dr. Kalaignar, became the party president. He became the chief minister. As soon as he came to Delhi, his first interview with the journalists, he said that what Anna wrote in the last letter, I take it as a will, and as soon my first job will be to set up a committee to go into the center-state relations. Because federalism is on paper. Federalism is a very big future, salient feature of our nation, whereas states are deprived of the rights. It is being stripped off one by one. The powers are, the states are being transgressed. They are encroaching into our past. We are not able to enact a law. Whatever is in a concurrent list, it is not taken into consideration. So he set up a committee under the Supreme Court Judge Rajamannar, under his High Court Chief Justice Rajamannar, along with Lakshmanaswamy Mudaliar and Chandra Reddy, another judge. So he gave some terms of reference. So this committee should go into the constitution and the existing situation and should find out which are the lists that should, from concurrent list, should come to state list, which are the powers which should come from center to state concurrent list, and which are the powers to be removed. And it submitted a report, sir, in 1969 it was constituted. It submitted a report, and later it is even now a very living document. And our present incumbent Chief Minister, Mr. M.K. Stalin, has also constituted a committee headed by Justice Joseph Kurian, a former Supreme Court justice, and Ashok Vardhan Shetty, a former IAS officer, and one Naganathan, who was earlier member of the Planning Commission of the state. Sir, apart from that, even the union government has constituted various committees, sir. In 1983, there was a committee set up for center-state relation, Sarkaria Commission. Which government is different? 1983. Kindly note, so everyone knows that. The committee recommended, it is very important, I want to note the comments, recommendation. It recommended that the Vice President and Lok Sabha Speaker should be consulted while appointing governors. A 5-year term should be fixed for them. Governors should avoid unnecessary interference in state administration and function as impartial gates. Legislative relation. The division of legislative powers between the center and states in the concurrent list should be clearly defined. Prior consultation with states before introducing central legislation impacting state subjects should be done. Any financial burden arising from centrally imposed schemes should be assessed and fairly compensated. Sir, next commission is that of Madan Mohan Kunj. That was in 2007. There are salient recommendations. I am not quoting everything, sir. States must be consulted through the Interstate Council before introducing bills related to matters in the concurrent list promoting cooperative federalism. This government is repeatedly settling cooperative federalism, but they want to supersede the states by way of taking a concurrent list subject like education, even labor. It's a state subject, but they take it into their control, and by way of the brute majority, they want to, whatever they want to do, they are doing. Second, governors must abstain from active politics for at least 2 years before they are appointed, alongside a fixed 5-year term and a process for removal via state legislature resolution. That's most important. And third, they further argued that the state chief minister must be involved in the governor's appointment process, proposing a committee including the Prime Minister, Home Minister, Lok Sabha Speaker, and the relevant Chief Minister to handle governor's appointment. Sir, most of all, one Supreme Court judgment, sir. It has very clearly said that is Supreme Court in Hargovind Pant versus Rahul Tilak case held that the office of governor of a state is not an employment under the central government, it is an independent constitutional office. Sir, so many recommendations have been given by various committees, the Supreme Court, but it is not being followed. So the state governments are suffering. Though it hails the support of the people, sir, this government, we are very sorry, has not fulfilled any of its promises. 11 years, we waited, we tolerated, still enduring. How many years more? But the day is not far behind that we will be there soon and they will be here. Because things are going like that. Not that we are after par. Because of the way they are ruling, how the parliamentary norms are being flouted, how the opposition parties' voices are strangled, how we are not recognized, everything becomes authoritarian. Sir, nothing which they say are being implemented. And Prime Minister comes to our state. We expect him to be a Prime Minister, sir, but he comes as a political leader, always. And he says that only if the union government and the state government have a same party or identical minded party, then it will be a good governance. That is double engine, he said. Sir, that is not democracy. Contradictions always bring good solutions. Let me say, double engine were all and single engine in Tamil Nadu. Double engine in Manipur, we saw what happened, how many died, and still it is going on. It's a double engine government. And in Madhya Pradesh, Vidabam or something, that is the only thing that happened. And in UP, for example, I said, in UP, recently on the Republic Day, sir, I don't know what the government is doing, what the constitutional authorities are doing. One minister comes and unfurls the flag in one hand and walks away when even the national anthem was playing. This is where double engines are happening. Whereas Tamil Nadu, single engine. Yes. We are not under the control. Let me say, sir, you say India is the largest democracy. Sorry,